You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome. This has been one of my favorite streams so far. This has been, Oh, so this guy supposedly pissed on him, but it wasn't possible. There was a second pisser. Prisoners of Drake's OVO Sweatshop. Maybe this one?
Drake is by far the most successful hip-hop and musical artist of our time and has achieved numbers that rival Michael Jackson, the Beatles, and Taylor Swift. But the ultimate
Fucking hate Taylor Swift, dude.
test of such greatness is the ability to pass success onto the next generation of artists, guiding them through the treacherous music industry.
Is that his child that he tried to hide from the world? Wait, what do you say? I didn't try to hide my child from the world. I tried to hide the world from my child. Or was it the other way around? I don't fucking know anymore.
A far majority of up-and-coming artists fail because not only does it extend one's legacy past their career, but it also proves that their accomplishments were not just luck. A common trend that successful artists have done for years in the music industry is to create their own label, essentially repeating the process they once went through, just with higher stakes. So Drake created his own label. However, can we really say there is anyone truly notable on Drake's OVO Sound label that has been successful
Who is on his label? I have no idea.
enough to compare to him in the slightest? Given his level of commercial success and connections, shouldn't it be easier for him to pass the torch to his artists, or is he holding them back on purpose to eliminate competition from his home city of Toronto that breeds new and fresh sounds? Perhaps he just doesn't have time to devote to his artists' careers while he remains supreme. Today, we find out. Drake was actually in these artists' shoes only a decade ago. He was signed to Cash Money,
Bro, who are I did not recognize a single person here. Maybe there was one.
Young Money Records joint venture led by Lil Wayne and Birdman, alongside Nicki Minaj, Tyga, and other soon-to-be superstars. But he individually was branded as the next rapper to take over Lil Wayne's
Drake kind of sexy though. Ayo.
spot as the best rapper alive. Lil Wayne took Drake under his wing, utilizing all the connections and pull he had in the industry to spotlight his music to the
Have you guys seen that Lil Wayne like Super Bowl shit? That shit's really sad. So weird, dude. I feel like he has amnesia and he like doesn't know that there was no plans for him to actually perform for the Super Bowl. He acts like as if he was. Like I feel like he was like his brain is just fried or something. I don't know. Then there was like this video footage of him like performing and it was just like, oh yeah, this is why they didn't pick him for that. I don't know. Just random thought.
world. Not to mention jumping on multiple tracks as a feature right after signing. That's all he really needed, the cosign. And years later, Drake has obviously done Lil Wayne justice with the risk he took on him. Drake's contract with Young Money Records would expire, and he would have to decide if he wanted to re-sign, sign to an entirely new label for an exorbitant amount of money, or start his own label. Because while his relationship with Lil Wayne was still intact, Wayne and Birdman's relationship was in shambles. For years, the two disputed over how much money Lil Wayne was owed from his royalties.
Fucked on Wayne's girl when he was in jail. Now that's conniving. Is that what he says? Is that what Kendrick says?
By the end, resulting in a $51 million lawsuit and hiatus from releasing music since Lil Wayne didn't want to give Birdman a dime more than he already took. As a witness of it all, Drake wanted no part in any.
Bro, Drake's eyebrows are insane. Like those are like fucking cartoonish eyebrows, like fucking just like anime cartoon eyebrows.
Anything similar affecting his own career. So in 2012, long before he submitted enough projects to fulfill his end of the current record deal, Drake founded OVO Sound, an abbreviation for October's very own, with two other founding members.
Wayne could have brought out the skate crew and that would have been a dope Super Bowl show. Yeah, we might even see an Ollie, dude.
His sound engineer and producer 40 and manager Oliver El Khatib. His label was a joint venture under the Universal Music umbrella, specifically with Republic Records, and intended to focus on budding talent.
Oh, actually the Millie Bobby Brown stuff, that was pretty fucking weird too. I mean, I don't know, like it's weird, but it's like not definitive. I don't know.
Such as Party Next Door, Smiley, Majid Jordan, T-Minus, Boy Wonder, and more importantly, himself. Starting in 2019.
Bro, Drake like completely turned into a different person.
Starting in 2019, after the
like, bro, like he looks like this like young innocent dude before, and then now he like looks like he's trying to be hard, basically. What is it, Millie? Okay, let me show you real quick. There, for the uneducated. Let's see. Look at this. This is fucking weird. Like, bro, like it's such like an obvious transformation with Drake too. Like it's like, yeah, like listen to this, bro. This is super fucking weird.
What about your relationship with
What the hell is that voice? What about your
Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic. And
you don't want a child that you are not related to ever say those words about you. That is so fucking bad.
a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like,
dude, that's so fucking bad, dude.
"I miss you more."
How has he lived this down? How has he lived this down? I feel like if he was like a smaller artists, he'd be done, dude. He'd be done. Like, if he wasn't as big of an artist as he is, like, this is tough. This is a tough watch. Why do they miss each other so bad? That's, yeah, it's fucking weird, dude.
Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited.
You guys are like, why are you pausing so much? This is hard to watch, dude. This is some serious cringe, dude. This is some serious cringe.
Yeah.
You and Drake, that's awesome.
No, it's not awesome, dude. What the fuck, dude? You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
I actually haven't seen this fucking clip before. This is so much worse than I thought it was, dude. Because I think I saw like an article about it and they left out like the whole like, that stays in the text messages. Because that makes it even worse, dude. Jesus, dude. There's still 2 minutes of this left, guys.
This is like princess vibes.
Thank you.
Right now.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel to
That is a weird looking dress. It looks like it's like fucking...
be here for your show?
I'm so privileged and honored to be able to represent such a fantastic show, and win or lose, we're a family, and it's an honor to just be here and be surrounded by such
Is there any more to this? I don't think there's any more to this. Wait, let me skip ahead a bit.
No,
Please stop pausing. I'm giving commentary on it. That's why would I just play the fucking clip? That's not even fair use. Like, that would just be me stealing.
No, it wasn't anyone, but I'm like, you know when you see the back of the head, and I'm like, is that people? And then I'm like, oh no, it isn't.
But who did we think? Let's look, Millie.
I thought it was John Legend.
It was.
Where is he?
It's John.
It was.
Where?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Up on that
Oh, he
platform.
is. Oh my god.
With his
How is this the most replayed part? Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it from that clip right there. Fucking weird, dude. I think there's more than that too. So she's 17 years younger. Oh, dude, that's awful. That is fucking awful, dude. I would fucking... This picture existed of me out there. I would take myself out. And shortly after their Australian hangouts, Millie shared a photo of herself laughing on a balcony to her social media pages and credited the photo to Drake. Ugh. Don't worry, we're almost done with this, guys. Oh, dude, this is, why you gotta make, the crazy thing is like, bro, she doesn't even see anything wrong with this. Why you gotta make a lovely friendship your headline? You guys are weird. She's somehow convinced that we're weird for not thinking that this is weird, you know? I'm lucky to have people in the business extend their time to help me further my career and offer their wisdom and guidance. I'm very blessed to have amazing people in my life. You don't get to choose that for me. It's nice to have people understand what I do. Now get back to talking about real problems in the world other than my friendships. Jeez. Yeah, that was rough, dude. That was fucking rough, dude. Holy shit.
Release of his album Scorpion finished off his contract with Cash Money.
Drake
When was this? I think this was like, it was in the past like 5-ish years, I want to say.
just re-upped with Warner Music Group with OVO Sound. That's his like label. First of all, it was always interesting to me that
She's a kid though, so that's excusable on her part. Well, yeah, the thing is like people who are groomed usually don't see anything wrong with it, you know, because they're young and impressionable.
saw what the fuck was going on at Cash Money, and he says, I don't want a YMCMB part 2.
She's too old for him now.
I don't want a Young Money part 2. I want my own label over somewhere disconnected from Birdman and this whole system.
Drake being signed to his own label is not entirely uncommon. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Travis Scott, to name a few, also release music under their own respective record labels. However, in their cases, they act and are treated like label owners since they actually have a large involvement in the creative process and promotion of the artists they signed, in some cases above their own solo careers. On the other hand, Drake has run into controversy regarding his record label, since he rarely, or at least ineffectively, promotes his label signees despite being the top-selling artist in the world, unlike his predecessor Lil Wayne. In fact, various signees of OVO have spoken out against Drake and his lack of support for their careers, some of which even left the label entirely.
Nah, bro, what happened to What's the Dirt and the Happy Dad sponsor was crazy. What is a Happy Dad sponsor? I heard about What's the Dirt, like, crashing out on, what's his fucking name? The Company Man? I don't know if I should get my take on that. I don't know. That whole thing was weird. The whole thing was weird.
So with that being said, the question that comes to mind is, why and how does Drake run a major record label if he's not really fulfilling his role of taking their careers to the next level? The answer is darker than you may think. The OVO sweatshop is a term that surfaced from various Reddit posts and coined by DJ academics
From various Reddit posts. Let me hear that again, dude.
OVO sweatshop is a term that surfaced from various Reddit posts and coined by DJ Academics in his Twitch live streams and past talk show Everyday Stream.
Bro, you remember earlier in the stream how I was talking about how he vertically stretches his webcams? Do you not see it right there behind him again?
Struggle. The conspiracy describes how Drake allegedly exploits and or neglects the artist in his OVO sound label in order to maintain his status in the industry. Now, obviously, his business may not be as poor of working conditions as a literal sweatshop.
I mean, I don't know exactly the full context of it, but I'm assuming like he probably doesn't want to like give them too much shine because he wants to stay above them, if I had to guess.
But the term caught on due to how OVO signees would allegedly sacrifice their own careers to write and produce for Drake later on, whereas other artists run music labels such as Young Thug's YSL proudly promote and collaborate with his artists, such as Gunna, as much as possible. Not to mention Thug's efforts to help Gunna surpass his own success for the betterment of both parties. Playboi Carti may not be actively advertising his artists in the same way, yet still draws immense attention towards them by associating them with his own
I think after this, we're going to do music feedback if you guys want to stick around for that.
brand and label, Opium. And because of this, Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely are undoubtedly among the top upcoming artists in the current generation. As for Travis Scott, he secretly featured Don Toliver within his highly
Okay, you're giving me a little too many examples here.
anticipated album Astroworld, in turn sparking curiosity about his newly signed artist and launching his career to mainstream attention in a matter of months. The same definitely cannot be said for Drake's OVO Sounds roster, as there is not a single artist that can be deemed mainstream in the slightest, some of them even being, dare I say, irrelevant.
I want them to
Relevant.
go fucking do what every other label does, which is take some of the millions of dollars.
Bro, who is letting Joe Budden dress like this, dude? Who is telling him like, that's good, dude, that's good. Yeah, that's fly. That is fly, dare I say.
They've made and go hire somebody to pay attention to every act signed to OVO.
So
and make sure that there's some more attention paid when
The Respect Women shirt is crazy, dude, in retrospect.
they're dropping a project.
Party Next Door was OVO's first official signee as a vocalist and producer. PND was probably the artist who has had the most success as a Drake signee, garnering a cult-like fan base in the R&B genre. However, he has still always been seen as an underdog in comparison to Drake, and many of his fans believe that he could have reached mainstream success if he never signed to OVO. And while PND and Drake have collaborated on a few occasions as artists on the same track, he is also known to be another one of Drake's frequent songwriters like Quentin Miller, such as mega hit Work featuring Rihanna. Now, who knows if the song would have charted nearly as high or at all if he kept it to himself, but at least he would have had the chance at glory that Drake received time and time again.
I agree, Beats 04. Probably Drake set up the label to cash in on potential royalties, but never cared for actually promoting his artists. Yeah.
I Love McConan is the artist behind the 2015 hit song Tuesday. And while it is true that Drake hopped on the remix, exploding the song even further, the solo track with just McConan had already been an undeniable success without him. Regardless, somehow Drake finagled his way into splitting the royalties on the solo record.
Wait a minute. That's a scammer beard. That's a scammer beard right there.
Somehow Drake finagled his way into splitting the royalties on the solo record as well, not on just the remix. Perhaps the deal McConan struck with OVO
All I'm saying, bro, 99% of the time you can predict the scam based on the beard. Okay, maybe not 90-ish percent. I'd say 90-ish percent.
at the time felt more favorable. But according to him, as soon as the hype from the song died down, so too did Drake's interest in his career, even dropping him years later without much promotion or music to speak of. An interviewer from Variety asked
Something to mention like every fucking 5 seconds here. What does your beard say? I think it says like, not quite a scammer, not quite homeless.
McConan concerning
Why are you streaming at 8 a.m.? Time zones. It is 3 a.m. for me right now. First of all, I mean, streaming at 8 a.m., that would be solid. You have a farmer beard. Your beard says I buy lots of plugins. No, it does not. No, it does not.
Tuesday, which Drake released as a remix. It's yours and OVO's biggest hit. You said in 2017 that they needed a hot song. That's it. Do you still believe that? McConan says, I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to these people in years. Nobody's ever reached out to me, but that seems as if that was the reason. For me looking back and people telling me, they knew that I had the new wave, a new sound starting up, and they jumped on that to further their own wave. They didn't want to sustain and support me, only themselves. Besides, I only met Drake 3 times. We spoke maybe 5 times, never about my career, just about getting stuff done. McConan's statements in 2021 only strengthened suspicions of Drake's sweatshop operation at OVO. I mean, what label owner, or worse yet, fellow collaborator on the same track with the utmost control of another's career would treat them like that. And with Drake's reputation for Billboard hits every year, it would make sense that he and his managers would capitalize off an already proven song like Tuesday by any means. And it didn't help that when I Love McConan wanted to finally release an album under his new label, OVO, Drake failed to be involved in any of the creative process, let alone promote it in the slightest. McConan further details his frustration with Drake and his label to Fader. This one I got signed. He's all in my
Damn, like I think I heard about this before, but this is pretty dirty. This is a lot dirtier than I thought it was.
face telling me, you one of the greatest songwriters ever, just blowing me up, bro. And I'm the little kid from Tragedy right now. You could see it. It was written all over my face. I'm depressed as fuck. And then when I'm like, can y'all tweet out my mixtape? Can I get a feature? Can I get production? No, no, no. So I'm just sitting over here in prison. Am I in prison? So maybe OVO Sweatshop wasn't
Damn, dude, that's pretty fucking dirty.
harsh enough of a term with how Drake treated I Love McConan. Because in retrospect, all Drake really did for his career was boost his song Tuesday to number 12 on Billboard, meanwhile taking half or more of the earnings from the remix and the original song. Not to mention steal the sound and wave McConan created for himself as an independent artist to further his own career. Then drop him as soon as his name lost relevance from the lack of promotion that Drake provided. Drake just might be an evil genius. Quentin Miller is a ghostwriter and is mainly known for being involved in the largest blemish to Drake's career, at least at the time. However, before this, he was
Oh, got him.
very much the opposite, still working in the shadows. No one on the outside even knew Quentin was ghostwriting for some of Drake's hit songs. His controversy escalated with the public feud between Drake and Meek Mill in 2015. Meek Mill pressed Drake after they collaborated on Rico, inquiring if the lyrics were about his current girlfriend at the time, Nicki Minaj, whom Drake has also had a long-term friendship with. But after finding out Drake didn't even write the lyrics,
Bro, you cannot trust this man, dude. That is the most untrustworthy smile I have ever seen. You smile like that in a picture with me, I'm never gonna fucking talk to you again.
also had a long-term friendship with. But after finding out Drake didn't even write the lyrics to the song, Meek went ballistic and publicly called him out.
Are active artists supposed to hold the hands of these guys? They said the artists already had their own way before Drake, so he couldn't get the production from the connect he made the first hit with. Well, it's just like if you're part of the label, like he basically like no doors are opening. Like he's like, no, I can't help you with production. No, I can't. No, I don't want to get on a feature for a remix. It's just like, why even be signed to the label then? Like, what the fuck are they doing for you?
In the process, exposing the actual writer behind the verse, Quentin Miller. At the time, this was a huge deal in hip-hop because a rapper's penmanship was still something rappers took pride in. Meek Mill felt like he got played. But what's worse is because of the whole scandal, all of Quentin Miller's contributions to Drake's career were brought to the spotlight, including one of Drake's most beloved mixtapes by fans. If you're reading this, it's too late, and almost destroying his career entirely due to raising questions about the authenticity of practically any and all of his music that he's released. Oh, and of course, the conditions within OVO, since, well, Quentin Miller obviously had the talent to make hits, yet still remained unknown behind the curtains at Drake's label. Regardless, the damage was already been done, and various sources began investigating deeper into alleged demanding working environments at his record label, though were unsuccessful in finding any concrete evidence. Years later, during another public feud involving Drake, except this time with Pusha T, Quentin Miller was asked by a fan where his relationship with Drake stood at this point in time.
I don't really remember that beef like 100%, but like I remember Pusha T fucking destroying him. I remember that part. And then the whole kid thing. Bro, Drake's got his ass fucking kicked like several times. He got pissed on one time too. Bro, man. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't a few Drake songs I'll listen to still, but it's kind of hard to respect him a little bit.
Made it clear that his ties with Drake were strictly past tense. Never doing anything with that guy again. I literally don't even care of that to become a thing. We're finished. He's doing him. I'm doing me. Point blank. That's it though. Shit dead. Perhaps he was just glad he had finally escaped and wanted no other dealings with Drake after what had transpired. I mean,
what was the deal about him getting pissed on again? Hold on. It happened like early in his career. Drake is goofy, Kendrick is goofy. All right, who's not goofy then? Okay, here we go. T.I. confirms long-standing rumor that his friend urinated on Drake. So over. It's so over.
according to Quentin during his DJ Vlad TV.
Yeah, dude, the FBI is probably loving my search history, bro. Basically, like the guy like pissed on himself because he was so drunk, and some of it got on Drake. So I mean, they are kind of like taking it out of context a little bit.
Interview, he apparently hadn't seen one back-end publishing check from any songs he wrote for Drake, merely a $30,000 advance when he signed, clearly much less than he deserved. But what most people—
How does the piss reach somebody else? I'm assuming maybe it like leaked down. I don't know. I haven't drawn out any diagrams to figure out exactly how this works. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. We need like a dramatic recreation of it.
People don't realize is that Quentin Miller was actually signed to another organization entirely under record producer and publisher Tricky Stewart. And actually, he claimed that Drake and his label would even pay him additionally under the table for Quentin to survive and provide for his family.
It's about to change my life, you know? Even though, you know, I was in my horrible publishing situation with Tricky, so I never got a publishing check off of any Drake songs.
Wait. You never got a publishing check off of any Drake song?
No. I had to feed my family off getting paid under the table in that situation because Tricky and them will let me.
Sorry, the fluid dynamics don't add up. It's either down the leg or on him. Yeah, I don't really understand that exactly. There was a second pisser, guys. Wait, hold on. See, guys, there was a second pisser, okay? We have Drake. This is Drake here. And this is the guy pissing himself, okay? And he's got his wiener out, okay? He's got his wiener out. And it's like, okay, so what? Did he piss down his leg? Or did he piss out here? Right? The only way this is possible, okay, is if there was a second pisser, right, guys? A second pisser in the situation here. Somebody over here, the magic piss. Yes, the magic piss. This guy here, who, see, like this part right here, this was not happening. This part here, this is not happening. There's not blood in his urine. I'm canceling it out, okay? I'm crossing it out here. Either way, it's too good not to. See, there was a second pisser here, and he pissed on him, okay? Well, it would have to be in order, because this situation here is not working, right? So there was a second pisser, okay? And just to clarify here, second pisser. Or maybe they were both pissing on him at this point. I don't fucking know anymore. I don't know. They're all valid. He's like, I'm pissing on you. I'm pissing on you. This guy was passed out though. This guy's like, I'm pissing on you. Kendrick Lamar is gonna write a song about this in a few years, like a decade or so. And this is an inside job, guys. This was one of Kendrick's associates here. This guy on the right here, Kendrick's associate here, guys. There we go. We solved it. We solved it, guys. Which one is Drake? The one getting pissed on. What do you mean, dude? Drake is the one getting pissed on.
Their group is Majid Jordan, a Lebanese-Canadian R&B duo.
This has been one of my favorite streams so far. This has been chef's kiss for sure.
Signed to OVO back in 2013 to assist in the songwriting and producing for my all-time favorite Drake album, Nothing Was the Same. And funny enough, they actually compared Drake's studio sessions to a literal camp, sleeping in tents and not being able to leave.
They basically put us in a studio, and it was like a studio camp almost. There were tents in there. There were like people flying
beats.
in. Yeah, make beats. Stay in the dungeon. Don't leave.
Like,
you cannot leave.
Literally tents.
Yeah. You can't tell anyone you're working on this project.
Make some drums.
Luckily, even with such conditions, Majid Jordan actually received feature credits on Hold On, We're Going Home on the album, in turn launching their career.
We're making—
Man, I'd love to be scolded into making beats. Bobby 4F just came in here like, what the fuck? It's okay, Bobby. We were explaining the Drake piss theory here. There was a second pisser, all right? Just so you don't know. So this guy supposedly pissed on him, but it wasn't possible. There was a second pisser. I don't love that. It was a joke, okay? You can clip that out of context, all right?
Beats for like—
It's called controversy baiting.
Like a few months, and we eventually get to make Hold On. I write the words over a beat. That's guy Paul Jeffries, really talented producer, goes by 1985. He also produced Hotline Bling. And then we put it on a USB for Drake to drive home to one night. He drove home. We showed up the next day, and he had tracked it. And they're like, we love this song. You know, this is the one. And 40's sitting there with his arms up in the studio, and he's like, we got it. We've got the single.
So perhaps camping out of the studio was all worth it for them. Noel Fisher, otherwise known as Detail.
Wait, you didn't explain context there. Like, it was a reference for him, I think? Okay.
Pursued legal action against Drake in 2016 for essentially attempting to force him into an exclusive production contract with OVO after their collaborations on Nothing Was the Same, though Detail declined. Soon after, Drake invited him back to his house, giving off the impression that they would still work.
And pissed on him. He invited him back to his house and pissed on him.
Work together, just not exclusively. However, according to Detail's dispute, when he arrived, Drake's bodyguard Chubbs answered the door and assaulted him, allegedly on Drake's orders. The attack—
Fuck yeah. Fuck
left Detail hospitalized for several days with severe injuries, including a broken jaw requiring multiple surgeries. Detail requested Drake cover the medical expenses, but this time he refused, forcing Detail to file a lawsuit to be compensated for his injuries. Although mysteriously, Detail failed to appear to his court hearing, and consequently, the lawsuit was thrown out. And he hasn't spoken a word of the incident since, but speculation remains
probably paid off
that Drake and his crew had something to do with it, such as threatening Detail with even more injuries. Drake.
Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, look at current day Drake, and then look at this fucking guy right here. Like, this guy's a fucking... He's a fucking dweeb, dude. This is and this is coming from me, okay? Look at me. Look at me, okay? I have a fucking Shaggy profile picture because people are like, oh, you look like Shaggy. This guy's a fucking dweeb, dude. Okay, wait, hold on. Drake 2024. But look at who he's trying to be now, right? Look at who he's trying to be now. Like, bro, he's so gassed up, dude. He's gassed himself up into like, okay, first of all, but like, bro, he's like talking about like, I got shooters, I got all this shit, like, and then it's like, meanwhile, Beard is doing a lot of work for him. True. Beards can do a lot of work for you though. Why don't you have a dog named Scooby? Come on, Weaverly the cat. It's a great idea, but honestly, I don't like fucking, I don't like dogs. I almost said I don't like fucking dogs. I don't like dogs. I don't like dogs. I don't like fucking dogs either, but I don't like dogs.
With even more injuries. Drake referenced this situation in one of his tracks released in 20.
It's not that I don't like dogs at all. Also, I mean, I don't like really remember it or anything, but I got like attacked by one when I was like a baby. And then also like they just fucking shit everywhere a lot of times, and then like they bark at me a lot. I don't know. They don't like me. I don't like them. Like, it's more of a cat guy.
Titled War, in a way confirming that it did happen on his orders. So even when Drake isn't successful in signing artists and producers to the sweatshop, he can still ruin your life. Moji was another Toronto native rapper that had been violently thrown away once his value had been emptied by OVO. Drake referred to him and his infamous dance moves in hit record Summer 16, and even used them in the music videos for Hotline Bling and Energy. Although Drake nor OVO ever technically signed Moji. Therefore, after a while, he felt he was owed some form of compensation for letting Drake run off with his iconic moves. Moji also shared some insight behind OVO seeking out new talent to write new hooks, flows, and bars for Drake's music. But similar to Detail, going public and speaking his truth resulted in violence. Moji posts pictures.
More of a cat guy is wild. Shut up. Maybe it's because I'm more of an introvert personally. I don't know, because like dog's energy is like kind of just too much for me. I'm just like, all right. You're gonna have to calm down with that, bro. I'm gonna have to dose you with something. You need to chill, dude.
Of his bloody and swollen face to Instagram, implying he was jumped on the orders of Drake for speaking out against him, and eventually deletes everything negative about the Six Gods soon after, all in exchange for $500, the only compensation he ever received from the record label ever. The final artist in the OVO sweatshop is Smiley, certainly one of Drake's most questionable decisions due to Smiley's, let's say, unorthodox flows. It's trash. I just had to say it. The only reason Smiley has...
Okay, I need to hear this. I need to hear these trash flows. It can't be put in M22 to shame. 15K 5 days ago. Damn, bro. That's so bad for being on Drake's label. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Okay, let's see it. Bro, I got more subs than him. What the fuck? How is he on OVO?
My pockets full of suck now. Ain't got enough to know what's up. You do too much now.
Okay, this is fucking trash, dude. Holy shit. I thought he was just hating.
To the point, I'm too on point. They can't keep up now. Finally kick the door down with my dogs. I'm talking B&E. Bitch, I feel like champagne. Bitch, I feel like Wheezy Wee. No, I've been a top dog. I ain't gotta talk about it. I'm making songs about it.
Bro, does this guy have some dirt on Drake or something? Like, what the fuck, dude? This guy must have some serious dirt on Drake. Oh, let me hear one more. That was terrible, dude. That was so bad. There's one with Drake here.
The one that goes...
This is so fucking bad, dude. Dude, he must have the craziest dirt on Drake in order to like, wow, dude, wow. So yeah, I think objectively you could say his music is ass.
The reason Smiley has any sort of traction on streaming platforms is because of Drake featuring on his song Over the Top. And similar to the other Drake appearances like Look Alive with Blockboy JB, even though Drake was technically the feature, the song was basically his, especially when considering the length of his verses and choruses on these songs.
Okay, yeah, I agree, Corey, but I mean, let's be honest. This guy is so much worse than everybody else.
And sure, Drake has posted a few pictures and Instagram stories promoting Smiley, but anyone in their right mind could tell you his music isn't going to translate into the mainstream, and it definitely hasn't. Smiley has had not one mainstream hit in years, at least solo, so what was the point? Some fans believe that Drake is simply giving back to his city by signing Toronto natives that have a little buzz, but at the same time, this also benefits him too, by maintaining his relevance and influence, keeping all the new artists under his wing, not too different from his previous artists already locked in the OVO Sweatshop, I Love McConan, or even Forbats, whereby he remixes already bubbling or hot songs to demonstrate his dominance on the charts, even though these songs were already performing well without him. It's all a status play, but in hip-hop, that makes all the difference in perception. Given all the career atrocities Drake already has on his record, a few artists were smart enough to think longer term, what exactly it means to be signed to a superstar artist with literally no successful artists under his label. These artists saw past the guaranteed money behind giving up their own artistry to continue Drake's, and in some cases, the coveted Drake feature that could
Was he crying there? What the hell was that?
set them up for life. But is that really what they wanted? The Weeknd is the most listened artist in the world in 2024 on Spotify, but regardless, before his rise to extreme fame, he was a relatively
I genuinely don't understand why. I mean, I'm not saying The Weeknd is bad, but I just feel like there's better music out there. Am I crazy? Like, it's not that he's bad. It's not that The Weeknd's bad, but I just don't understand how he's the most streamed artist. Am I gonna get hate for this? Am I gonna get canceled for this?
Canadian R&B artist and songwriter assisting Drake with his early projects. Drake discovered his music in 2010.
It is better than Swift. That is true. That is true.
And had 2 of his songs posted on his October's very own.
I'm not saying he's bad at all. I'm not saying he's bad at all. Just like, I just don't really understand. I mean, I don't understand Taylor Swift either.
On blog. A year later, The Weeknd released his debut mixtape, House of Balloons, and started working with Drake on his upcoming album.
Yeah, I don't really like the 80s pop shit either. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either.
Take Care. And while The Weeknd appeared as a feature on the songs Crew Love and The Ride, he was also credited for songwriting contributions on a few other tracks like Cameras, Shot For Me, among others. In 2013, The Weeknd told Complex, "I gave up almost half of my album. It's hard. I will always be thankful. If it wasn't for the light he shined on me, who knows where I'd be, and everything happens for a reason. You never know what I would say if this success wasn't in front of me now." And despite Drake's efforts to sign him officially to the OVO Sound record label after Take Care's momentum, The Weeknd had different arrangements. He used the buzz from his Drake collabs to partner with Republic Records and create his own imprint, XO, a competing force to OVO, in which he could sign his own artists. Soon after the deal went public, Drake responded on Twitter, "You won't get away with just a thank you. You owe me a favor." He felt betrayed, beat at his own game. He gave the spotlight to an upcoming artist, but
well, the thing is too, like, if you have like the #1 song, or like at least in the top 100, people are more likely to check it out. But I do think a large, at least like a good portion of it's real.
Couldn't lock them into a deal to bear the fruit he had planted. So I understand his frustration. But on the other hand, The Weeknd was responsible for a large proportion of arguably one of Drake's most iconic projects of all time. Seems like a fair trade to me. Just because Drake was early to discover The Weeknd's talents doesn't mean he owns him. I mean, think about how limited he could have been if he was signed to another artist. And now they compete for the same number of Billboard hits, selling out arena.
That stash though.
In a tour stops worldwide, The Weeknd is one of the most successful artists ever.
He just really came to me at one point, came to all of us and was like, look, like I don't want to sign under another artist because I feel like I could be just as big or bigger.
And looking back, not signing to OVO was probably one of the best decisions he has ever made in his entire career. And speaking of hopping on trends, Ice Spice turned out to be another Drake blunder. And while no evidence exists that Drake wanted
Wait, was she on OVO though? I mean, I know he endorsed her.
To actually sign her to OVO, he was definitely impressed with her recent rise to fame, publicly following and DMing her that he messed with her music. In fact, he also flew her out to his OVO fest in Toronto. If you ask me, the sight of Ice Spice had Drake motivated, whether he just wanted to hit or he just wanted her to become the next OVO signee. But something certainly did not go his way.
What is their fucking, I can't remember it, dude. I just remember that one song from them. Pink Panthers, yes. I think Pink Panthers is way cuter, just saying.
His way. For after nothing business or personal resulted from their time together, Drake unfollowed her. And do we really think either of those two
oh my god, this is so petty. Why do you unfollow her?
Of those two options would have ended well? As we can already see, she's doing just alright on her own with barely any music out. Also, we need to give credit to Ice Spice's team that have protected her from all controversy and have allowed her to make all the right moves in the industry. After all, they were smart enough to refuse whatever Drake may have offered. Bryson Tiller seemingly blew up out of nowhere with his SoundCloud hit Don't, that that eventually made its way onto every hip-hop, R&B, and pop radio station.
Having a SoundCloud hit is so fucking weird. Like, I mean, maybe, you know, back then it was possible, but I feel like every like song on SoundCloud with like fucking 5 million streams or like 10 million streams is fucking largely botted. I don't know, man. I just don't think there were ever that many people using SoundCloud. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Unexpectedly, Drake offered him a record deal, but Bryson Tiller turned it down. He was conflicted on quite possibly the biggest decision of his entire life. Does he sign to Drake to potentially be overshadowed, or simply because OVO lacks the infrastructure to support any artists other than Drake? I mean, Bryson Tiller had already signed to 2 independent labels before, and not—
Did you say you got a viral SoundCloud? I did not have a viral SoundCloud. I did not say that. Find the clip of me saying that. I did not say that, bro. I said I had like a little bit of a thing on SoundCloud before YouTube. Yes, like I think like the most plays I have on a song there's maybe like 200,000 or something. Like, it's not— I did not say viral. I challenge you to find a clip of me saying viral. I swear to God, I have never said that in my fucking life, dude.
Neither of them worked out. But signing to RCA Records, he would have had a whole team. He talked to 40 about it. Even 40 was like, this is not a bad deal from RCA.
Oh, what I was saying about the OVO thing. I feel like OVO lacking infrastructure is completely by design by Drake, though. You know what I fucking meant?
So we just—
especially like for like 100,000 plays on SoundCloud or whatever.
Did it. Bryson Tiller decided to take his odds as a solo artist without the help of Drake. And whether or not his career has panned out greater in comparison to if he had signed OVO, at least he's working for himself. Most recently, Bryson Tiller has had a top 20 hit with his solo song, Whatever She Wants, and he did it all on his own. For in all likelihood, he would have been in the studio writing songs for Drake's last few projects like the rest of them. PopCon is
The stream started with I went viral and the title did it not. I put viral in quotes, but I mean, I would consider a tweet bullying academics with 7 million views. I mean, that's at least viral. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get a bigger tweet than that ever in my whole fucking life, but yeah.
Jamaican singer who featured on Drake's Controller. It was the first—
I don't know why that tweet popped off so hard. I don't fucking know either, dude. I don't really get it. I really thought I was going to like tweet that and get like 5 likes.
Dancehall artist signed to OVO.
Like, I feel like everybody was just like, yeah, academics is fat. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Drake hopped on the entire dancehall trend due to PopCon's growing buzz. PopCon got multiple career boosting features from Drake, but he didn't feel like he was as supported on his own endeavors and career. In fact, his last album under OVO, Great Is He, debuted at a lower rank in sales than his previous 4 studio projects despite featuring Drake. Not to mention the incident with Wiley, a UK artist, attempting to clear features for a PopCon and Nicki Minaj collab, but was unsuccessful due to issues with the label. Wiley then calls out OVO.
Yeah, the Drake drama is getting boring. I don't know. I wish I kind of focused more on the sweatshop points.
Wiley then calls out OVO Sound on behalf of PopCon on Twitter. Don't ever sign to OVO Sound. They give you shit record deals and you're only there to help Drake with songs to keep him up and you down. Set up for you to fail. He follows up, tagging PopCon. They said they won't clear your verse because you ain't giving them any music for your own project. In early 2023, PopCon then left.
Like, they're going through the entire sweatshop, and I'm kind of getting bored of it too.
OVO.
I feel like we got to finish it though. Like, it's like we've almost eaten this entire bag of chips, and it's like, okay, we got to eat the last like 7 chips. We can't not finish this bag of chips.
In Crack Magazine, the label can be weird sometimes. I love the label.
Maybe I'll speed it up a little bit. Sorry to keep pausing, guys. Hold on. Want to get off my ideas here.
But I don't like them. I'll be independent soon. PopCon may have learned his lesson. The signing under another artist, no matter who it is, may not be the best option, as what worked for them may not work for their artist. He wanted to utilize Drake's platform to launch the entire genre of dancehall into the mainstream, and it definitely worked, however, only for Drake's songs. So all that PopCon really amounted to under OVO was yet another stepping stone for Drake to maintain his status.
This is what I'm saying though about Drake, dude. Like, we went from dweeb Drake to this guy right here.
As the biggest rapper in the world, capitalizing from various cultures by commercializing them. It wouldn't be the first time Drake hopped on a trending sound and received all the credit for making it popular. In March 2024, Weaverbeats reportedly signed a distribution deal for his new EP with Drake. Drake just did a remix of his hit song Act 2, dated 8, and just like some other OVO signees, Weaverbeats' song was already viral in his own right due to the juxtaposition between his street appearance and high-pitched R&B vocals. Yet again, this caused fans to wonder why artists keep letting Drake get away with hopping on the trends they have created when we've already seen all of OVO's other victims. Weaverbeats allegedly only signed a distribution deal for 1 EP, so if the partnership isn't the right fit,
Weaverbeats is so weird, dude.
Or the EP doesn't stream like they're hoping it will, they can always part ways. As of now, if one looks at the album's metadata for his newest project—
I've said this before, Victoria, like, you're more likely to blow up off of bad music at this point due to like TikTok and the way things are like shared, and like people are expecting good music, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's like insanely good, like the crazy shit anyone's ever heard, nobody's gonna share or comment. But if you rap about switching to bussy, because you fuck so much pussy, people are gonna share that. People are gonna share that. They're gonna be like, what did he just say? That's the trend. You either make some garbage or you like put some sort of bait into it. Let's be real though. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know you meant Good Music, Kanye's label.
There was no OVO Sound listed as a distributor though.
Yeah, clip that one too. But that's actually that's the actual fucking lyric.
Remix is also not on the album. Instead, there is the Act 3 remix with Kanye. Drake and Kendrick's beef also took a lot of the spotlight away from his debut studio project, in which he tweeted, "Yo, Kendrick Lamar, I just dropped my tape. Can I get 24 hours at least?" Now, obviously, this isn't entirely Drake's fault, but still, it's just something to note. Is the entire label evil and maliciously signing artists for the sole purpose of sustaining Drake's career? Or does that just end up happening for various reasons? Because what it looks like is every artist who signs to the
How are they sustaining Drake's career? If anything, they're probably just putting more money in his pocket. I would say that's more accurate.
Label ends up never amounting to much under their own name. And as soon as Drake has siphoned all the influence he can take from new artists out of Toronto to perpetuate his next leg of his career, you never hear from them again. If that's actually the case, then Drake and 40 are evil geniuses, especially when they have easy bait for...
I don't know. I mean, look at those smiles there, dude. Especially 40, dude. He's looking real evil there.
40 are evil geniuses, especially when they have easy bait for upcoming artists of the prized Drake feature that could skyrocket their career with only one song. And better yet, many of the times Drake doesn't even fulfill this promise.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This music video is kind of fucking sick. This is kind of fucking sick.
Drake doesn't even fulfill this promise. I mean, if they made a hit record, why wouldn't he just take it for himself rather than bog down the potential from featuring on an unknown artist track? Oh, and if you call out the operation publicly, Drake will send out his minions. It all seems like a trap. Noisy stated, "It's looking like the dream they're selling is
Oh no, Drake's minions. What are they gonna fucking tickle me? Or are they gonna get a second pisser?
Sexy art direction and clutch credits on the Boss's album. OVO Sound is excellent at the business of making Drake albums, but not yet the no-brainer star-making force up north it could be, possibly because the tightest songs get run up the pipeline and placed at the feet of the sixth god. But what if, on the other hand, OVO is actually trying to promote their artist careers, but just suck at it? After all, Drake emerged as a top rapper over a decade ago and was launched into the scene by Lil Wayne, the highest selling rapper at the time. Now, yes, Drake is currently in the same situation as Lil Wayne now.
I have a hot take about Lil Wayne. I don't know though. I don't think people are ready for it yet, dude. I don't know. I probably gotta go re-listen to some of his music to see if I still like feel that way. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Highlighting new artists as the top dog, but to be fair, the music industry has changed. Cosigns are less effective due to multiple reasons. For one, social media and streaming platforms are continually increasing the competition for artists and creators as the barrier to entry of uploading music online becomes easier and easier. But more importantly, social media has democratized sharing of
Osama, stop. Stop it.
Music. Any regular citizen can grow.
Okay, I'll fucking say it, dude. He's overrated. No, he has some good songs, but the thing is, like, he's just he oversaturated it, and he was just kind of like low effort for a lot of it, you know? No, it's not that he's the GOAT. I mean, he's got some great songs. Don't get me wrong. He's got some great songs. But he's also got some fucking garbage, low effort bullshit.
Following or simply just share what type of music they're listening to, in turn influencing others. No longer are massive media publishers and radio.
Yeah, exactly. Quantity over quality. Yeah, I agree with that. Like for both 3 6 Mafia and Lil Wayne, and it doesn't make them not good. It's just like the lack of quality control. Just when you go like press shuffle on their Spotify, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get. Essentially is what I'm saying.
Stations the gatekeepers to upcoming talent, and therefore Drake or any large artist cosign for that matter isn't really worth as much as it once was when information was more centralized. And let's not forget that Drake is still just an artist. Yes, OVO is his brand, but he has his own career to worry about.
Hey, that's illegal, Drake. What you're doing right now, it's illegal. Hello.
OVO is his brand, but he has his own career to worry about, especially in recent times. And the employees of the label, in addition to the artists, are the ones who are supposed to utilize his brand in order to push their own career. He can't do everything. At the same time though, given it is his brand, it is his responsibility to hire the correct people to be able to handle new artists and their development. As for the accusations of exploiting his artists to make him hit songs rather than let them succeed, I could go either way. It is a safer bet to funnel all the hit songs to Drake for nearly guaranteed success. But longevity wise, which I think
I would say Drake is overrated at times before Wayne. Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of mid too. I mean he has some bangers too though.
Is truly after to prove he's the best artist on the planet and can put on any artist he wants to because he is just that influential. That wouldn't make sense. Drake has enough hits and he's pushing 40 years old at this point, already discussing slowing down and or retirement. At this stage in his career, I believe his goals all the more align with letting his artists have their own hits. But perhaps this was his strategy early on. Regardless, Baca explains his perspective on the matter.
Yeah, MF Doom is definitely one of the GOATs. Dude, Adam 22 has some gigantic foam squares in the background. What the fuck, dude? I have never seen foam squares that big in my entire life. I didn't know they made them that big.
People who talk online about music say is that they try to say, oh, OVO, if you end up signing with OVO, you end up giving your best shit to Drake. Do you think there's any truth to that? No. Do you think you're seeing it from a different perspective because you weren't like hired as a songwriter or a producer or something?
No, I just know him as an individual, you know? He's not gonna, especially if a man's like, okay, let me put myself in the situation then. I make a hit song and he knows it's a hit song for me. he's not gonna come and be like, yo, I need that song. He's not gonna do that. I 100% I know that. And I've never even heard of him doing anything like that. So my personal take on it is I don't know him to be like that.
Right.
You know, he wants his artists to thrive and to flourish and to be great. He wants that. Like everybody at OVO wants that.
And what's crazy though is that
foam squares are useless. You need tiles. Depends what you're using them for, dude. Depends what you're using them for. For a podcast studio, that's fine. That's completely fine.
a lot of people who may have a less mature perspective, they would say, well, why didn't he hop on your song when it was blowing up? But I think the reality is that, yeah, that would have made the song bigger, but he probably wouldn't have been doing you any favors in the long run, because getting under that massive microscope that quickly is sometimes. We've seen a lot of people whose careers couldn't handle the weight of the Drake feature.
Exactly.
It's so weird listening to Adam 22 sometimes and being like, I agree with this man. And then some of the other shit he's been involved in or said or does or raps about, I'm just like, oh, fuck, dude. Did this guy just say he stepped in some squirt in his new song? What is wrong with Adam 22? What is wrong with Adam 22, dude?
In conclusion, it is a given fact that if you're an artist as big as Drake, you are bound.
Also, he said he did blue meth in that song. What the fuck?
To wrong some people to get to that position. Drake used many artists as writers and producers to drop as many hits as possible throughout his career. For this reason, OVO can be seen as a sweatshop. However, is it even fair to compare any OVO signees?
Adam, probably one of the worst people in California. That's pretty fucking funny for some reason.
To Drake, due to his impossibly large success, we have to remember record labels like OVO are a business and will invest in the most valuable asset they have. In this case, that is Drake. Why would they risk money on artists that could fail when whatever song Drake makes is guaranteed millions of streams without much marketing? Maybe the OVO label.
This is when he first started look at that. I got fucking 10 chains on my neck.
Is not really a label at all, but just a springboard to boost Drake's career since he has been so successful. The majority of people would agree that Drake mistreated the artists on his label, and this is a testimony to Drake's character that has heavily been questioned in recent times during his beef with Kendrick Lamar, Future, Metro Boomin, and damn near the entire industry. So not only Drake, but also OVO Sound as a label may need to change their tactics, as they very well may have an army of sweatshop prisoners ready to expose any and everything going on behind the shadows.
The video was a bit exhausting, bro.